I am very excited today to get you started in your LeagueApps Management Console. Our goal is to enable you to manage your organization's programming in the LeagueApps Management Console. To do this, your onboarding will consist of both group webinar and Q&A style trainings, along with individual one-on-one workshops where you'll be actively learning and creating your programs in the console. Now, the onboarding process usually takes about 2 to 3 weeks, but during that time, we will ensure that you have the hands-on training that you will need to thrive using the LeagueApps platform. After onboarding, you will not be specified a rep at LeagueApps, but you will have access to our incredible support team and all of the self-service support resources that you will need to be successful. Our launch process will begin today with this group training session where we will introduce you to the LeagueApps Management Console and train you on the primary and default settings that your account needs to get off the ground. So let's just jump right in. If you would like to follow along in your own management console, I will show you how to log in now and you can follow in your own console. Just a quick note before we hop into the login process. Want to review the account launch timeline with you. Today is the initial group training that we will be going through. And right after this, you're going to be given some tasks. You're going to be given a form to complete with some information that we need to get you ready for your one-on-one training workshop. Once you go through the one-on-one training workshop, this is going to be a more personalized and customized training for each organization. Once you're done with that, all your programs should be built and ready to go live. And then within the next 20 days, our goal is to get you guys online. And any post-transactional training will happen after that. And obviously, you will always have ongoing support from us. All right, so it's not as scary as you think. Now, your partner training agenda is going to be quite straightforward. These are the topics that we will touch upon in the initial launch training, which is what we're doing today, along with your launch training workshops and any post-transactional training that you need. So when I say post-transaction, it means after your programs go live and your registrations has begun. Anything you need help with after that in terms of invoicing, reporting, member management, we'll be able to go through that with you at a later time. Along with all of that information, you will always have access 24/7 to resources in our help center. We do have live chat hours and we do have email support. Those are not 24/7, but you do have access to them as well. All right, so let's hop right in. We are going to this is the admin login page. So how to get here is very easy. It's manager.leagueapps.com. You will have this login given to you over a time and time again. So don't worry about losing it. We do highly recommend that you favorite this page though. So just make sure you favorite it. This is the admin LeagueApps login, okay? So keep that in mind. So I already moved on and to save time, I've already logged in. And once you log in as an admin, this is what your dashboard will look like. All right, so once you're at your dashboard, it looks a little overwhelming, but don't be scared. We're going to go through every step, every piece. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to ask. And then we will also do a live Q&A right after this video, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is start at the top left-hand corner. Your LeagueApps logo right here is going to do the easiest thing possible. It takes you back to your dashboard. So no matter what page you are on, if you're on Compose a Message, registrations, whatever you are in, if you click that L at the top left-hand corner, it will take you right back to where you started in your LeagueApps dashboard. All right, so moving right one space, you're going to see Surf City Sports. This is my site name. So this is where I'm going to be able to access all of my extra sites if I have them. And along with my current site, it will show which site I am currently on. Okay. The little monitor that's right next to it is going to, if you hover over it, will say View Site. This is going to allow you to view the front end of your site. So this is what it looks like for all of my parents. When they come into Surf City Sports, they'll be able to access my front site completely And you can also access your front site completely. Let's say you wanted to check out the store, make sure everything looks good. This is a great way to get there. You just click View Site, and a little pop-up will come up with a new tab, and you'll be able to see exactly what your parents see. Moving along further to the right, at the top middle of your dashboard screen, this is your general navigation tools. Okay, we're going to start with Manage. Under Manage, it's the little clipboard tool. You're going to be able to access all of your programs, your members, your teams, invoices, discount codes, credits, anything that you need to physically manage within your site. Think of that here, and this is where you'll be able to access it. Okay, the next one over is your messaging. It's a little chat bubble. So anytime you need to send a message out to your members, anytime you need to export an email list or have an email template, or even see what emails you sent out, this is the place you'll be able to do that. The next one we are going to be looking at is a little chart. It's called reporting. So anytime you need post-transactional reporting or post-registration reporting, anything that you need reporting on can be accessed through here. Okay? In the middle, we have content. So content is related to what is on your front end of their site. All right. So if you look into the home page right here, this is all content information, right? So if you look into classes, this is not content, and I'll show you why. So you'll learn more about why. But if you have the section right here, this is all content. So think of content as pages that you can create on your website. If you click into content pages, you'll have default pages, and then you'll have content pages that you create manually. So anything that you have content wise in terms of your front site, this is where you'll be able to access and update them. Okay. Design on the other hand is your theme editor. This is going to be where you update your coloring, your theme, everything, your logo, everything that is associated with the theme of your site will be edited in your theme editor. Okay. Connect. So Connect, this is going to be your integration center. So if you have an integration that you would like, for example, MailChimp is a very popular integration that we do with our platform. This is where you would be able to set it up. There will be further instructions, and I definitely can send you more help and help you through the process if you are interested in doing that at a different time. Okay. Settings. So your settings is going to be the most important part of your account. This is your site settings. All right. So anytime you come and experience site settings, this is where you'll go. So in your first call, you'll be discussing some of your member profile settings, your default registration settings, and many things on this list. All right. Then you have this little magnifying glass on the right hand corner. This magnifying glass will allow you to search by name. I don't think I'm personally on this one, but you'll be able to search members by name. You'll be able to search specific teams in your site by specific team names, along with programs, products, locations, and invoices as well. All right. Now, the most important part on this dashboard page is going to be your manage account icon right here. So it's going to show your name. So mine in this case is Surf City Admin. Typically it's whoever is logged in, right? And then just below it, it will show you the site and the organization name. All right. So if you click this little drop down arrow, manage account as an account owner will be your most important space. All right. So this is where you're going to be able to add admin users. This is going to be where you're going to be able to pull account reports across your entire organization if you have multiple sites, along with where you're going to connect your gateway. So under merchant services, gateway setup is going to be something that's super important for us to go through, and that will be the next step that we look into. All right. But continuing on this page, you'll see any multiple sites that you have here, along with your billing information. If you ever need to change your general details, that's where you'll go. So like, let's say for example, Brittany is no longer the account owner and she doesn't want her email attached to this link. What we'll do is remove her from here and update that elsewhere. Okay, so then we're going to jump right into gateway setup. So once you're in gateway setup, when I say, hey, go set up your gateway, you know, that way you can collect money through your transactions and your registrations, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to log in, come into manage account, and set up gateway. All right, so I won't be able to do this for you. This is something an owner definitely has to do. We're going to enable LeagueApps gateway. That's something I can do for you, and it will be done for you already. So once you see this page, you're going to click activate. Typically you want this to be the org account owner's information. So whoever is the org account owner will typically be the one doing this. But once you click activate, you will be asked a series of questions and you will need tax information. You will need the owner's name or date of birth or whomever the representative is. And you will also need bank account details. All right. So after that is set up, you are ready to collect registration fees. The next thing we're going to look into is your account admins. Your account admins. So once again, you're coming back into manage account. You're going to go into manage users. And right now, I don't have any admin users. In order to add an admin user, you click add new admin user. You can add, you know, their email. I'm just making things up right now, but let's say I want to make me an org account admin, right? You can see each role does have access to certain things. Org account admin is just below the org owner, so it will have access to everything except for changing a bank account and changing anything that's related to the gateway. So once you create this user, I will get an email at oyoung@gmail.com, and it'll tell me to, and I just have to follow the prompts. It'll say, hey, you know, you've been added as an admin user. Please click here to create your account and then log in. All right, super simple. If you run into any trouble, you're able to actually click this help button, and it'll give you detailed support settings and videos, or you can just ask support if you need help. Okay. All right, moving on. We are going to also touch upon your member profile. So in your member profile properties, these are your basic form field questions that are attached to your member account. They're basically default questions that you can have, and along with you are also able to add custom form field questions. So think of these questions as ones that you would want to associate with the member account and not a program. So for example, a very commonly added form field question to a member account is emergency contact information. That rarely changes from program to program, so you can probably ask them to put it in once in their member profile and just be done with it. Additionally, graduation year also never changes, so or I don't want to say never, they typically don't change, so you're also able to add a question like that in here as well. Going down the basic field settings though, you can choose to require a member address. You don't have to. All of these fields that are part of the basic field settings already exist, so you don't have to add them again, and they will automatically be asked. You can choose to require each of these questions. For example, parent birthday, you can require. Child birthday, you can require. This is typically turned on if you haven't already. If it's a youth program, they typically require child birthday. Allowing child member emails, this is a little bit tricky. The child has to be above the age of 13 in order to have an email, even if you allow it. All right. So, Any child that is younger than 13 will still not be able to input an email address in their profile. The next one is collect parent or adult mobile number during registration. This is also very important, especially for youth programs. You want to make sure you have a way to contact the parent. You can also choose to require it, right? Same concept. You can choose to require that or not. You can also collect a child mobile number. You'll notice that you cannot require this, but you can also turn that off if you don't need that. And then a common thing is that if a member has not filled out any of this information when they log in, you can prompt them to fill that out. It's usually tied to, like, if they created their account and then you added new form fields, if you prompt them, they'll be taken to their profile page to fill out the information. You can also hide the member information on the web pages. You can also choose to collect a secondary email address on your parent accounts. So, for example, mom registers her account and she is registering her kiddo, but grandma is the one that's picking up the kid through events. So grandma needs to know when the events start, and she needs to be in on those emails, right? So grandma doesn't have to create an account. She can just add a secondary email to that original parent account. And then that ways, mom and grandma will both be able to receive any program emails that are sent out. Okay? So some important features: if you were to add a form field, think of the form fields as you would a form field on a piece of paper registration, right? So for example, if we're going to say graduation year, all right, the type being, we're going to do drop down because we're going to allow them to select what year, not instead of just single text field where they have to type it in themselves. We're going to allow them the option to select it. All right, your priority, is it required? Is it optional? Your visibility, the visibility is in response to the answer. Do you want the answer to be public, protected, private, or admin only? So the apply will apply for the answer, or the question. So do you want to apply this question to only adult accounts, or do you want to only apply it for children accounts, or both? All right. So visibility is the visibility of the answer that they give you, and apply is whether or not you want to apply this question for adults or children only. Okay. So then you'll click add. And then this is what it looks like. So you'll have graduation year as the question. You'll click add item. So we could do 2024. Click save. 2025. All right. So and so on and so forth. And now when they go and create their account, I've applied it to both. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply it to only children. And now anytime a parent comes in and creates their child profile, they will be asked what their kid's graduation year is, and they will select the year that their child is supposed to graduate. Okay? If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the Q&A, or you can save them till the end, and I'd be happy to answer in a live Q&A as well. All right. Moving on, we have the default registration settings. So under your site settings, you're going to come into registration settings right here. And you're going to have 3 tabs up here: your options, your form fields, and your waivers. Today we are going to go through form fields and waivers. Options refer to your program registration options. So this is a little more customizable and specific to your organization. So this will be discussed in the one-on-one that we have with you guys. So we're going to start with form fields. So now we want you to understand that these form field questions apply to your programs and they are not retroactive. So the reason we start you guys with the default registration form fields is so you don't have to go back into your program and add all these questions all over again every single time you create your program. Your default registration form fields will be created with every new program that you create. It is not retroactive, okay? So anytime you add a default question in here and you have an already created program that you created before you added the question, it won't take. It will only apply to programs that you create after you've added it into the default, okay? So think of the default form fields as a form field bank. Like, you can use this as a bank of questions, and then you can pick and choose what you want to apply to each program. So along those lines, you want to make sure these form field questions are applicable to your programming, right? You're not asking them what their name is. You're not asking them what their birthday is, because that is already attached to their member account. Here, you're going to ask something like t-shirt size. You're going to ask something along the lines of level of experience, or what position they play, or what position they want to apply for, etc., etc. Some people do also put emergency contact information here as well. And again, the add a form field or form is the same exact form that I just showed you. Same concept here. Okay. So once you've added your form fields, now every time you create a program, for example here, every time I create a program, t-shirt size will automatically be in the form field section. I won't have to re-add all of these sizes every single time. Okay, so that's the benefit of having this form field bank for you. Everything will already be there. It just removes a lot of manual work. It's going to be the same exact thing for your waivers. Once you're in your waivers field, you're able to see the main waiver that comes with every account. It's just a very generic sports waiver. You can update this if you need to. You can choose to remove it and put your own. Whatever you need to do as your waiver, this is where you would do it. You can do whatever you'd like with it, okay? You can also add additional waivers. It is very, very crucial, in our opinion, that you add at the very least a refund policy in here, especially if you're taking registration costs, fees. A refund waiver will help you drastically if or when a partner does decide to dispute a charge that they have had. And it's not necessarily out of bitterness or, just out of anger that they would do something like that. Sometimes they might not recognize a charge on their statement and dispute it, right? And the whole process does take a while, but if you have a refund policy waiver, you're safe. You're basically going to send that waiver to the bank, and they're going to see, oh, this person signed this waiver, and they're not going to win this dispute. So super important. Any additional waivers you can also put in here could be photo release, it could be liability release, anything like that would go in additional waivers. All right. And if you have any questions, again, I urge you to shoot them in live in the Q&A section, or you can write them down and ask me live right after this video. We're going to move on real quick to settings terminology. Okay, so terminology across programs and across organizations can differ, and we do have a place in the system that allows you to update it and change it to your liking. All right, so if you don't run by seasons, you're more than welcome to change this to year if you'd like, or if you don't use experience level, you don't have to use it. It's not required. So, or you can change it. So once you have those set, for example, let's say instead of season we did let's say we did year, and you wanted to just mention the year 2023, 2024, you would add those options there. That way, when you create your program, you'll be able to select that year. All right. It's probably not the best example, but you can go on, you can continue to dig for that information and see what part of your organization you may want to put here. All right. In terms of level, you can choose novice, you can choose test, you can even do intermediate, whatever you'd like in here. Class income amount are new ones that we've added here. So under terminology, it's the class and the income amount, those are associated with accounting codes. If you're interested in using accounting codes in your organization, please let me know separately. That will be, since it's not super common, it will be more better discussed in the one-on-one meetings. Okay? All right. Moving on. I think I'm almost done. I promise. I know it's a lot of information. The last thing that we're going to talk about, and is definitely super important, is your settings, email settings. Okay? So this part is very important because you have your Surf City Sports and then your default reply to address. This email address is going to refer to any one that replies to an automatic email that leaves from this platform. So for example, if you have an automatic event reminder that goes out of this platform and to your parents, and they reply to that automatic reminder, it will go to whatever default reply address you put here. Okay? On the other hand, if you compose a message, let's say Brittany is my admin, and Brittany writes a message and composes it and sends it out from her account, not the Surf City admin account, but her personal admin account. Any reply that she sends out will go to her. It will not go to this default reply address. This default reply address only applies to someone that replies to an automatic email that was sent from the platform. Okay? Now, the important part that I wanted to discuss is your email header and content. So this is very, very important because this is going to be all of the emails that are outgoing in terms of the automatic emails. You want to make sure they know where those emails are coming from. So a lot of the times, organizers will put a logo in the header. You just input the logo here. You can adjust the size. You can adjust how you want it to sit on the email. You can center it however you like. You could put your name there. So it'd be like Surf City Sports, right? However you like that, you can do that. So another thing that you want to make sure you do is your email footer content. Your footer is super important. Think of it as your sign-off. We urge you to put your contact information in here. So a lot of the times a parent will run into an issue and have trouble finding contact information for their organization. Let's say they are new and they don't have a direct contact with a coach or an admin that is part of your organization. They'll be able to look into any of their emails and see your organization's contact information. So I want to say add contact email and contact number. Those are the two very important informations here. What this will also do is it'll allow you to actually connect with a parent as soon as the issue occurs, right? If they're trying days and days to figure out how to get in touch with you and come through us, and then we have to put them in touch with you, they're not going to be happy about that, and it won't be a great experience for them. So the idea is we're going to make this an easy experience for the parents and a good, pleasant experience. Of course, if they run into an issue that you don't know how to resolve, you are more than welcome to ask our support team. They'll be happy to help. That's what they're there for. But we want to make sure that your parents are able to contact you first and foremost. Okay? So on that note, we're actually going to jump into how you can contact our support team. We're going to come back right to the dashboard, and right through the bottom, there's going to be a card here that says help and support. The first thing you have access to is our help site. So if you click help, it'll take us to our help site. Oh, sorry. I used to be a support agent, so it logged me in the back end, but this is what it'll look like. It'll ask you, how can we help? And you just type in your question here. So for example, an admin wants to manually add player. All right, so you'll get a bunch of information here as drop downs. So we're going to say manually add, and it's going to say, do you want manually add teams, participant, assign coaches, so on and so forth. And then you'll find related articles. You'll be able to see from step by step how to do what you need, what you're looking for. And then at the very bottom, if this article was helpful, definitely check a thumbs up. If not, please let us know why and how we can improve it if you have any ideas. All right, we're always open to upgrading and updating our platform information. So I'm just going to backtrack just a little bit. So that's our help site. When you click on it, it will go to that original page. You won't see, it'll go directly to this page. You won't see the back end of things. The other thing you can do is you can send us a message directly to support@LeagueApps.com. One of our support agents will answer you. Not to brag, but we do have a very high response time. So we are very proud of our support team here, and it is definitely a very active support. So we'll definitely get back to you as soon as possible. Another thing you can do is we have webinars. We have a lot of webinars, this kind of being a webinar in itself, but if you're interested in learning in other parts of the platform or about LeagueApps, we have webinars for almost everything. If you click into it, the first thing you're going to see is training videos. This is going to be super, super helpful. These videos were all created by admins that, had started and learned the process, and everything that we know on our back end is in these videos. So all the tips and tricks, all of the how we do things our way in the back end, and how we can teach you to do it better on your end and more efficiently on your end. Check out these videos. You won't be disappointed. Obviously, this one will also be recorded, so you also have access to this. But if you have any additional questions, I will say the last piece that will tie this all together is you'll see this giant support button at the bottom right hand corner. All right. If you click it, you enter your name, your email, and then what is wrong. Tell us what your issue is, what's happening, how we can help. The more information you can provide, the quicker we can get you guys a final resolve. All right. So keep in mind that this is way more helpful than you going into your email and just typing us an email. And I'll tell you why. If you use the support button, it will actually grab the page link that you're on. It'll help us see what you're looking at. And therefore, let's say my question here is, why is my program summary 0? Okay. So program summary in our terms can be related to a couple of things like individual programs or this dashboard program summary, right? So if I did this and I sent this message, it will show me that you're looking at the dashboard and hey, you're looking at the program summary from this dashboard page. What's wrong with it, right? So the best part of this is that it'll tell us what you're looking at and it'll show us, and we'll be able to better assist you. Another thing that you're going to run into is that this support button sometimes will look like a live chat button, and it will say live chat. Our live chat hours do start at 10 a.m. and they end at 5 p.m. For now, I think there's discussion for more, but for the time being, it's 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. with a lunch break in the middle, depending on when the individual is able to take a lunch break. So there will be a pause around lunch and then it'll be back up. Typically, what you'll do is you'll click into the live chat button, you'll put your name and then your problem, very similar to this form field, and then you'll be connected with a live chat agent. Our live chat agents and our support team are the same people. So Our support team does have a live chat agent on every day that is responsible for live chat. So it's not a robot, I promise. They're live people. All right, so if you have any other questions, please let me know. I do urge you to take a look at these webinar videos. They're very, very helpful, and they provide a lot of information for anyone that is starting up and looking to make this an easier onboarding process for themselves. All right. So if you have any questions, let me know. This will complete the training material for today. We will be emailing you with an action item that you will need to complete and complete for your prior to your next session, which will be your one-on-one. So you will have homework to do. Don't be scared. It is not very hard. It's just a form that you have to fill out, and just be prepared, be ready, and be here, These action items will require you to log into your own console and update some of the account settings that we just went through today. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to revisit this video or just ask. You'll also think through some of your first program information. So you want to start thinking about your program registration details. You want to provide that information to us via the online form that we're going to send you, and then we'll be able to schedule your call. All right. Once you've completed all of the action items, you will attend that one-on-one call where you will be working directly with an onboarding specialist. You will need to be at a computer that has mid to strong internet connection, and you want to be able to set yourself up for success in terms of sharing your screen on a Zoom meeting and being able to share your screen and do those actions on your end. So you will be an active participant in this training. Keep that in mind, okay? If you have trouble figuring out how to share your screen, or if it's just not working in terms of accessibility on your computer, please let us know in advance. We'd be happy to help you get that set up. We definitely want our one-on-one call to be as productive as possible, okay? Once we finish our one-on-one, we're going to in the one-on-one, we're going to create your program. We're going to talk about your registration and any other questions that you have. And then so on from there. We'll plan more if we need to. And if we don't, and your program is ready to go live, then you guys are ready to go live. And that's it. So now we're going to have a live Q&A. Feel free to raise your hand to speak, or you can continue to post your questions in the Q&A area if you'd like. I could definitely, either one works. I will come off mute and then be able to answer those questions live for you.